communities, your countries is really under threat of the deterioration in democracy. And the deterioration in democracy that you face and the rise of hatred, the rise of racism, this is a result of the lack commitment from your leaders to the Sustainable Development Agenda. This is because they lack implementation, lack, as I said, implementation of their commitment toward your society and toward the world. So what we know, when Trump, for example, announced that he will invade Greenland, for example, this is a very big threat, and all Europe screamed because of it. What happened? What are you doing, Mr. Trump? And this is because there is a collapse of the international order. And that's what we saw, for example, in Arab countries when the occupation happening every day by Israeli against Palestinians. And the same thing we saw it in the dictatorial regimes. The dictatorial regime who killed their people every day, and there is no real response from the international community, especially from the democratic countries. So what can the international community do? Let's talk about the democratic countries. No, let's ignore the authoritarian regimes. The democratic countries now have to gather themselves to save the global order, to reform the global order from double standard, and to reform it to fulfill its commitment to the world. And what's happening now, as I always say, that the globalization gave, unfortunately, the rich countries all the benefits and leave behind all the poor countries. And this, including democracy, including economic, including the environment itself. So we need now new leaders to take the flag of saving the world. We need new leaders. Even with the current leaders to know, to wake up and to do their commitment, to do to save the world from the collapse of global order, or new leaders, youth, young people, they have to rise and to stop the current policies of the governments of the world. So we need new world leaders to reform the global order, to save the humanity from the double standards, and the UN itself needs a lot of reforms. We need new government, global government, that will make binding procedures to the government to fulfill their commitment on development, on justice, on peace, on human rights, and on environment. Otherwise, those dictatorship camps will gather, they are gathering themselves now, more and more, but they will gather themselves again and more, and they will collapse everything. They will hijack everything. And that will not just be, I guess, us as people that live in poor countries or countries that suffer from authoritarian regimes, countries like the democratic countries that they claim that they are democratic or superpower countries, they will suffer the same like the others if they will not wake up now as a people, as NGOs, and as government. We shouldn't let Vladimir Putin, for example, or Netanyahu, for example, or Trump, for example, or the super rich companies, big companies that own, and people that own, that own all this, the billionaire to destroy our country, our world, the climate, the economy, and the peace itself.
Yo quiero preguntarle